Hello and welcome again to this edition of Phi TV. I'm your host, Brad Swanson, coming to you from Florida Internet and Television, the industry that connects and entertains over 95% of all Floridians. We are joined by none other than Representative Plasencia to come back and talk to us about a bill that she ran and passed, and then another one to update. Let's talk about HB1. Representative, tell us about it.
Sure. HB1 changes fundamentally the way that we teach our children. So HB1 provides choice and it customizes the education for every student. So parents now have options, whether you're in public school, private school, charter school, homeschool, there's something in there for everyone. And ultimately parents know what's best for their children. They know what it's going to take to make them successful. And this puts them in the driver's seat of their child's education. And I can tell you that Florida is number 3 in the nation in K through 12 achievement. And the members of this House and we want to make that number 1.
That's fantastic. I tell you what, so you go from being a freshman to in the national spotlight, running one of the biggest bills of the legislative session. What else is next on your agenda?
So I'm still working on HB 265, which is my GED bill, and it's now going into its last committee stop. So we're right there just before it goes to the House floor. And what that bill does is it provides, Florida has a GED waiver for 16 and 17-year-olds with parental consent. Now the counties decide how the students can come up and take their GED. There's a lot of requirements in there. All I'm saying is if your student can pass a pre-GED test, let them come up, take their GED so they can start their life.
So kind of like if they're adept enough to pass the exam, they just kind of skip to the front, they get their degree, and they're on their way.
That is correct.
I love that. Empowering Floridians. All right. So you got to come back and tell us. You're in your final stop on the bill. You promised to come back on Phi TV and tell us where that bill ends up.
You got it.
Okay. Thanks. All right. So before we go, one of the biggest things we always ask all of our amazing members that serve in our House and the Senate: when you're not doing this important work for your district in the state of Florida, what do you like to stream? What are you watching?
So here's what's interesting. I live in Florida. I love Florida, but when I watch TV, I'm in Montana.
I picture you with cowboy boots and maybe channeling your inner Beth.
That's exactly what that is. Yellowstone is my favorite.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming on Phi TV, and we'll talk to you again soon.
My pleasure.
Thanks. That's all the time we have for this episode of Phi TV. For more great interviews like this one, make sure you hit us up on our social media feed. And for now, thanks for tuning in.